Okay, let's give it just 3 seconds, Bria, just for people to catch up. 3, 2, 1, and we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome. This is going to be a really, really interesting webinar. We're going to be talking about how people are effectively showcasing all the things that have happened in a school, in a semester, in a school year, in a class, using the Wakelet platform. It's going to be interesting because I've got some really cool examples to share from teachers and students, and Bria has got some really awesome examples to share as well. And as always, with our webinars, they are so much more interesting when everybody shares their thoughts and their opinions and contributes. I can see that we've got a bunch of people joining us. Nadia, you joined us first, very early, actually. You joined us like 50 minutes ago. Nadia from Libya. Salam, how are you? I've got family in Tripoli as well, actually. My father has Libyan blood in him. Amar, hello, welcome. We've got Basumi from Romania, welcome. Bayazid Molla from Bangladesh, welcome. Is anyone there that you recognize, Bria?
Not that I see, but hello, everyone. It's exciting to see everyone. I'm excited to spend some time with you today.
Yeah, Jessica from California with the festive spirit. Ivana from Croatia, welcome. And I'm sure we'll have a few other people joining us as we go along as well. So this webinar, as I mentioned before, is all going to be about showcasing the things that have happened over the period of time, right? Using the Wakelet platform. Now, there's lots of different ways that you can showcase things. We're biased, but we think that Wakelet is the best way. And I'm sure if you're joining and you're an ambassador community member, you probably agree as well. But it's always good to see some inspiration and see how other people are doing it. So this webinar in itself is going to be a bit of a showcase too. I love this because I remember when I was in school, I was a bit of a nerd. I was like doing a lot of extracurricular activities. I was on the basketball team. I was on the debate society. I was in chess club. I was in book club as well, if you could imagine. And by the time school finished, I had absolutely nothing to show for that. Every moment of growth that passed in my learning journey, I may have got like a paper certificate. God knows where that is now. And we're entering a world now where things have changed. Everything is digital. And people now, whether you're a student, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a professional, it doesn't matter what walk of life you're in, you have the opportunity with platforms like Wakelet to showcase those moments of growth as they happen. As soon as something really cool happens, something that you're proud of, whether it's an event that you've put on, a webinar that you've attended, a certificate that you've got, every moment of your learning journey is able to be showcased. Now, the reason why Wakelet does it much better than everyone else is because of the variety of content that you can add to a Wakelet collection. There's so many different things that you can add to a Wakelet collection, everything from social media posts all the way up to PDFs, images, and on our pro plans, you can also upload and add video as well, which is really cool. But what we're going to show you today is examples of where students, educators, people within education have used the platform to effectively showcase the things that have happened, whether that's at the end of the year, the end of the term, the end of semester. So that's what I'm going to be sharing. And shall we dive in, Bria? What do you think? Shall we get on with it?
Yeah, I'm excited to hear what you have to share.
Okay, brilliant. So I'm going to bring my page over now to the stage, and we can go through the collection. Now, there is a collection of resources here that you'll be able to check out. And I'm going to go through them now. Okay, so the first one which I wanted to show, and big shout out to Tanya Gonzalez, one of our amazing ambassadors. She's put together the student project showcase. And I'd recommend everyone take a look at this because it's an amazing use of the platform. And here what she's doing is sharing all of the accomplishments of her students, highlighting all of their hard work, their creativity, and their growth all in one place. So you've got a collection here, and within this collection, you have those collections too. So there's a nice to meet you collection here. There's a meet the teacher, and here you've got the students, pictures of them sharing their creations that they've done for Wakelet Community Week. You've got shout outs of students who have done things special. You've got pictures of artwork and that kind of thing. really, really cool collection, so much going on. And you've got a video uploaded here as well, which shows her students completing the student certified course as well, which is really, really cool. It's a presentation that she put together, completing the Wakelet certified course for students, which is amazing. And now the students and the wider school community can come back and look at this collection, and they can see all of the really awesome things that have happened that year within Tanya's classroom, which is really cool. You've got a collection here on the Adobe student projects. You've got a collection here on a campaign that we did for the Wakelet wrap-up, which is really cool, where the kids are putting together wish lists. You've got a collection here full of the students' digital portfolios, which is really amazing. Each student has their own portfolio that they can showcase all of the amazing things that they've done over the school year. Now imagine, go back to when you were at school. Imagine if you had a place like this where you could rest assured that all of those amazing accomplishments and things that you achieved sat, and you can take those, you can copy them, you can use them, you can add them to your own portfolio, you can add them to a resume. I just think that this is a super beautiful, colorful collection. A big, big shout out to our amazing ambassador, Tanya, for putting this together. The next one that I wanted to show here.
I was going to add to that too. One of the things I love about that is a lot of times our parents or principals, maybe leadership, they're all looking for that window into the classroom. They don't get to be in there day to day and see what's going on. And so what she's done here is open up that classroom so that parents, maybe potentially people in the community, her leadership, has a very visual view into the great things that are happening into our classroom, and that elevates her as a teacher, helps communicate well, and I just think is a great use case. So.
It's amazing. And the other cool part about this as well is that you're able to use it as a template. You can make a copy of this, you can change it. You've got these beautiful sections here that you can fill out. And like you said, there is an important component of that, which is the wider learning community that involves guardians and parents and even like career development officers as well at the school, who are able to look at this and advise the student in a much more accurate way than if they just showed up, right? So yeah, love that. This next one here is really cool as well. This one here is from Georgia Nicole. And this shows a compilation of her creative works, okay? And the reason why I love this is it's a really, really good use of the column layout here. Much easier to see a lot more content within one page. Here you've got the first quarter, so these are highlights from her first quarter. Lots of different accomplishments and achievements here, but a really important part of this is reflection as well. It's not just a dump of links. This collection is really cool because here the student is looking at this and putting their perspective into it and reflecting on it and trying to understand what they could have done better and why they enjoyed it. You've got second quarter creations here as well, third quarter and fourth quarter. So I love that. And I love the way that they've used the column view too. Here is another one, which is around reflections too. This one here is from Chris Malau. Big shout out to everybody who I'm sharing their content on here, because I love seeing this stuff, and I really appreciate it when people share this with us to share on webinars. This here is again more on reflections. Okay, so here you've got a collection, a creation that's been put together on Canva, and here's a reflection on this particular time, this particular course. And this is really important because students don't often get the chance to think about why they're learning, to think about why they've pushed themselves to achieve something, or think about why they found something challenging as well. So again, really nice collection here, full of lots of reflections on their journey. I absolutely love this. And remember, all of these are available for you to take a look at as well. We're running through them now, but they're all within this collection. This one here is a really cool portfolio. This is I think it's a teacher. I think it's a student teacher here. You've got, again, beautifully laid out, right? So you've got the about me, all of these amazing creations here. I love seeing these, don't you, Bria? Ones which have like got that extra level of detail on them.
Exactly, that polish makes a difference.
That polish, yeah. So here you can see.
Sorry, I was going to say, I think one of the reasons why people really love Wakelet as well is because that extra level of polish and detail, the features that we have with like being able to create in Adobe or Canva or bring in GIFs and Unsplash, all of those that just make it a lot more streamlined and easy to pull off a really put together portfolio where you don't have to put a ton of extra work in it, which you would if you were building a full website or something like that.
Exactly, yeah. And also access to templates as well, just to make life a lot easier. We've got amazing templates available on the platform where, you could take something like this, you could make a copy of it, you could remove the content and you could, create your own. But we do have templates which are specially made for portfolios as well, which is really cool. You can access those in the Explore area. Here you've got, again, like this is one of the things that I love about this, right? In the learning artifacts section, you've got a Canva creation in here, which is fully interactive. There's not really many places online where you're able to get this mixed media all in one place and have something as important as a presentation that the student has done on Canva right next to a really insightful reflection on that as well. So you can see everything's beautiful, it's side by side, and then you've got the conclusion of that learning journey as well, which is amazing. Okay. Next up, you've got an LMS update by Catherine Harrison. This is copied from a template as well. And again, it's end of the year, right? So here you've got the different reports from the end of the year. I like this because not every single item that you add to Wakelet needs to be an own individual item. You can add hyperlinks as well if you wanted to just be really clean and have a list like this. So this has all of that key information. You've got usage reports on the ebooks and audiobooks that we use, the databases. You've got a library leadership team. And here you've got a more formal approach. This is probably more for actual teachers and staff within the school. You've got a planning calendar for 2025, 2026, and you've got professional development opportunities here as well. Now, to do this, you'd have to create a site. You wouldn't be able to get all of this information into an email. No one's going to read it. So this is a really cool way to take that key information. It doesn't always have to be interactive and super visual. It's just key information, something that I might have like 10, 15 links and turn it into one link and then share it with the people that matter. So I like that one too. Then I wanted to show you this one as well because I really love this. This is a profile, right? So that's a little bit different from what I've shown you previously. Genesis Project is an AI education research lab at a school called Renton Prep. And they've put this full profile together that showcases all of the things that are happening within the school, right? Now, there's a lot of different collections here. There's one about the team, there's one about student interns, but then you've got these really cool wrap-ups as well. So you've got a highlight from January 2025. And in this, every interesting thing, every project, every insightful thing and every opportunity and every accomplishment that happened during this month has been showcased beautifully here. Whether it's YouTube videos, you've got links here from the school, from Instagram that are put here, highlights from the things that are happening within the school. You go into a little bit more depth there with some other content, but I really love this. And I think that this is a really inspirational profile because it's not just sharing a newsletter, right? It's being able to provide context for all those things as well. There's so much information, so much useful content that's being shared here. Okay, so I wanted to take this opportunity as well. If you are looking at creating collections like this and you wanted to make use of all of the premium features that are available on Wakelet, things like adding a AI image, things like video upload, things like all of these really cool new things like making items red, reordering them, pinning them to the top. If you wanted to unlock all these premium features along with unlimited collections and unlimited items, we are running a promotion today just for this webinar. So with Individual Pro, it usually costs $11.99 a month and $89.99 a year. We are giving you 30% off that $89.99 a year price. With that, you're able to create and join and publish unlimited collections, add unlimited items. You can record and upload videos similar to those videos that you saw in those other collections. You can create image carousels, so image galleries. You can pin items to the top of a collection and section. You can use AI image generation. You can add splashes of color. And we've also got folders as well. Folders are really cool. If I go back to my collections area here, you'll see my folders are all up here. So if I have reflections, if I have collections which I'm adding things to, and I don't necessarily want them to appear just in my generic collections area, I've created folders for that. So you can see here, I've got a folder called Wakelet Projects. And at the end of the year and at the end of the month, every project that I've been involved with, along with the results, along with the key things that happened, I put into a collection and I put it into that folder. It's a really cool way of organizing it. And you can unlock that with Wakelet Individual Pro. So use the code at the bottom of the collection that we've shared. And that's Showcase 30. That's 30% off the Wakelet Pro plan. Now, to upgrade is really easy. You can just go to the top left-hand corner here, click on Plans and Pricing, and then you will find Pro available. Once you go to checkout, then you're able to add that code, and that will provide 30% off for you. I'm going to pass over to Bria now, because I know Bria has some really cool things to share as well.
Yeah, that was great. And I think if you haven't started using Wakelet, jump on that discount and just upgrade to Pro, because extra features that are available, you're just going to fall in love with. And if you have been using it, you're on that free version, you're missing out. So go upgrade. I think that's awesome. So I was really going to spend some time kind of talking about, what does this look like from like a group, a school? Where does Wakelet really fit into all of that? And so I'm going to share my screen here.
Yeah, I can go ahead, and if you go to the window, I can pull it up. Yeah.
Yep. Perfect.
There we go. Yeah.
Got it. And again, this is all linked in here, but one of the things that I work with a lot of my schools on, and Ms. Bo was talking about it as well, like, we know that reflection deepens learning. We know that students get motivated when they visually see growth. We also know, for all of us, that things happen throughout the year, even last week, that we forget about so easily in terms of how we've progressed and grown. And we want to make sure that we're celebrating that students are recognizing when we're talking about that growth mindset. We got to get them the ability to be able to recognize, you have gone from here to here. You have grown. There are still areas that you get to work on. Where do you want to go next? Putting them kind of in control of that education. And so, this kind of reflection or year in review concept, especially at this time of year, can be really, really powerful in the classroom. And so here's an example. I always like to show it kind of from a student perspective of going, what would this year in review look like? We have a template that's listed on there as well, but being able to go, what are 3 of your favorite artifacts? So having students think back, and what are your favorite artifacts or moments from this past semester that you're proud of? Maybe it was a project, a certificate, or an award. In this case, the student did a STEM fair solar powered phone charger. They always, in this template, they're kind of saying, what have I learned? What is my big takeaway from this? Problem solving takes patience. Science is about trying, failing, and improving. And this was his first big high school project, which is pretty exciting as well, being able to kind of document that. And then this is a picture of a poem that the student had written, and they thought, I'm learning about sharing personal stories and building connection. My voice matters. This was a picture that they picked from a Skills USA leadership conference that they went to. Leadership's not about being the loudest. It's about listening and helping others grow. So one of the other things that I really think is important with working with students at all grade levels, all ages, is that in life, we have to be able to tell our stories well. So whether the students at one point in time are going to be trying to get a scholarship, maybe getting and trying to get into university, trying to apply to a school, scholarships, jobs, internships, we get asked these questions all the time as we get older, going, tell me an example about where you overcame a challenge. Tell me about something that you've done well. Those are stories that we have to tell about ourselves. And we don't necessarily do a great job in education of helping students practice articulating and reflecting and sharing those stories. That's where portfolios and these reflective activities for students, it's not just, oh, great, we get to look at the highlights, but they're practicing really important professional skills in terms of being able to tell their story. And so that's why when I work with schools, I love working with even some of the younger grades, just practicing, celebrating, and identifying the things that they're excited about or maybe want to grow in, and then how that just increases in complexity or clarity as they move on in those grade levels. It's incredible practice for them of something of a skill that they're going to use for their lifetime in terms of telling their stories. So we have a template and this example linked into our collection if you want to take a look at it. The idea of doing a year in review, either doing that maybe in December at the end of the year or in January to kind of start out for some of you who are starting a new semester.
So sorry, Bria, are you still sharing your screen?
Oh, I am. Yeah.
Oh, I think
no.
it's, yeah, I think it went off for some reason. Sorry. If you get it back up, you can pick up from where you left off.
That's weird. Okay, hold on a second.
It just went off. Okay, yeah, I think, okay, we're back. Here we go.
Is it back? Okay, perfect.
It's back.
So in the collection that we'll share out, there is a review template, and then this is the student example that goes along with it as well. I also linked in here a template that's pretty popular as well in terms of something where you're just taking one thing out of, maybe it's a project you did out of the semester, out of a certain period of time, maybe it's for the month, and they're adding this artifact in here. And then they're just answering some simple questions. When you give students a framework to really think about their learning, why did I create this? So helping students understand there's always purpose in their work. That's a great professional skill that helps support them later on. Helping them understand and identify challenges that they overcame. What did they learn? And then what would they do differently next time is a really basic framework. And this is something that you could do, having them pull in different artifacts throughout the year with this same framework. They start to kind of get that reflection down in terms of their thinking of their particular work. I was also I think it's always important, and my favorite thing about my job is learning from other schools and the incredible things that they do. And so I wanted to share a little bit about some of the schools and work that they're doing. And I would say if you aren't a part of our community and you're not getting the Advent calendar that Amy has put together, where we're highlighting all these different use cases and examples, make sure that you're a part of that, because some of these examples are going to be linked into that Advent calendar as well with some more detail. A lot of our schools do student-led conferences. And student-led conferences has so much value in students doing intentional curation of their work, reflecting on their learning, but also connecting with how to tell their story and helping connect and bring those parents into the classroom and understand how much their students have accomplished within the class. And so the Valley School in Pennsylvania, big shout out, they're doing incredible work with student-led conferences. And some of the things, I was just meeting with them the other day that were like highlights to me that they said was when the students were using their Wakelets to present in front of their parents what they had done in that semester, the parents' response was they were so much more engaged. They wanted to show up to the conferences. And they felt like they were seeing their students' growth and how much they love school, not just hearing from the teacher. I also thought this was interesting. They had shared that they felt like by doing the Wakelet portfolio, Students created more honesty in their reflection about their growth because it wasn't just about their best work. It was about some of the things that they had to struggle on. Maybe they got a bad grade on a test. Why did that happen? How could they change that for the future? What have they learned in that process? And that honesty really helped elevate growth in that classroom. My other tip that I loved that they had was this idea of a parking lot. And Mispa kind of talked about this a little bit earlier too. Wakelet is so easy to bring in artifacts from all different places. You could create a collection where you're just adding things and making notes. Oh, I want to remember this. Here's the link of something I created. I'm uploading a document here. In this school, they called it the parking lot. It was like things that I wanted to make sure that I had. And then the students intentionally went through that parking lot and then created some context around it. They would then select certain items that identified things they were proud of, things that they had challenges with, things that showed particular growth, and then wrote some reflection to that. But they had everything throughout the semester just kind of pulled into a parking lot collection. So it was easy for them to get to that and reflect and pull together that final presentation for their student-led conference. So I love that. The other takeaway from that school was this idea of, in some of the schools, a lot of schools are doing this right now. They call it win time, what I need. It is a certain time in the day, maybe a certain time in the week, where it allows that personalization of learning. So it's what I need time, win time, WIN. And the students get to work on, they could use a choice board from Wakelet that you put together. They could work in their portfolio and do some reflection, do certain activities. But win time and Wakelet go really well together because it's specifically about the student. What do they need right now? What do they need to work on? And if they're reflecting in their portfolio and pulling things in, they better can identify the things that they need during that time. So those are just, wanted to share some templates and examples of great use cases directly in the classroom impacting your students, when it comes to creating portfolios, reflection, those highlights. And if you don't already have Wakelet access for your students, we have some really great plans for that. So we call that our group plans. And you're more than welcome to reach out directly to me if you have any questions about what this might look like in your school or in your classroom. And you get a Teacher Pro account, all those different features that Mispa had talked about. Plus, you get the students as well to be able to be a part of that. And so what this looks like visually in Wakelet, if you don't already have your students as a part of this, is I'm signed into a teacher account right now. On the left-hand side, I can have different groups or different classes. They're all a part of my school workspace. So I get to have my own individual workspace. I get a school workspace. And amongst those, then can be different classes where I can work with my different students within that space. And why this is so powerful is there are so many things that I can do within a group along with my students. One of the most popular things is creating an activity. So I actually have been recently working with a lot of schools on tracking writing growth. So here's an activity, and this is a template that we can share as well, that you can have the students select writing samples and do a short reflection on. But what's really powerful is as a teacher, I can simply click activity and push this activity to all my students and then see a visual of where my students are in this activity. Have they started it? Nope, Clinton hasn't started it, but Ava has, and Clarence has submitted it. So if I want to go check on Ava's portfolio, or her activity, I just click on Ava's name and it takes me directly to that activity collection. And I can see that she wrote a particular or added the poem that she did, but hadn't gotten to the reflection yet. So I can provide that individual support for her. And so for my classrooms and schools that are on those group plans, that activity feature within the groups is incredibly powerful. I would say the second powerful piece within this group is that collaboration piece, being able to have students within your class be able to all collaborate on a single board. So in this case, Renaissance inventions. I just want the students to learn about all the amazing Renaissance inventions. And so as a teacher, created a collaborative board. And now we see that Ava and Clarence and Clinton and Daniel, they have all written a couple sentences about a Renaissance invention that they found, added a picture to it. And now everyone in the class has this great collaborative space where they can see all the different pieces that the students have added all around the different inventions. So it creates that engagement within the classroom as well. There's a lot of other use cases within that, within those group features. And so if you're interested in learning more about what this might look like for you and your students, or maybe there's a couple of teachers that are interested in using Wakelet with students, or maybe you just have a group of colleagues that want together and do some things within the group space. We have a lot of great options. And we do have a discount going on right now too within that group space. So feel free to reach out to me and I'm happy to talk you through all the details.
Thank you so much, Bria. Yeah, and that is 30% off the group plan for anybody who's interested. I can see Evelina asking how to work with students while they have limited accounts on their Wakelet. That's the perfect discount for you. I've added some details there in the comments as well. The Wakelet plans really are amazing. It's a way for you, as Bria said, to scale the magic of Wakelet out to your students as well. And I think that the value of having that group plan, all those things that Bria touched on, the collaboration, the portfolios, the ability to go in and see what your students are looking at, the activities, that along with all of the other premium features as well, including video upload, pinned items, colored items, image generation, it's stacked full of value. And we're running this promotion just for attendees of this webinar. So if you're interested in getting 30% off that plan, just reach out to Bria at wakelet.com and Bria will set you up. And again, if you're interested in unlocking 30% off Wakelet Pro, if you're just looking at to create as an individual and create a beautiful profile, create unlimited collections, showcase them, then use the code SHOWCASE30 at checkout to take 30% off your annual Pro plan. Thank you so much for that, Bria. I really loved seeing those examples, and hopefully our audience are inspired and will go away and think about how they can showcase more of the things that are happening across their learning communities and make use of those incredible plans. So yeah, that's it. I really thank everybody for attending. It's been amazing. Any final words from you, Bria? Final words of encouragement?
I would just say now's the time to do that reflection, create a collection, pull in some things that you've done from this year and share it out with others. It's a great opportunity.
Amazing. Everybody, thank you so much. We've got obviously more webinars coming your way. We've got the Wakelet wrap-up headed your way very soon as well. I know it's coming to the end of the year, which is a strange one because there's a mad flurry of activity before everything shuts down for the holidays. So now's a really good time to lock in that price for the group plan and the individual pro plan. And yeah, until next time, I'll see you soon. Thank you, everyone.